Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Barry and Jordan, formerly known as Interactive Games in 90 Seconds. I'm your co-host, Barry K.
And I'm Jordan Zwicker. So glad to have all of you with us. And for our first show with the new format, we have such a very special guest. Like, we're talking like superhero style guest.
Unbelievable. From Hartford, Connecticut, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Wait a second.
Please
Is Tony Stark from... Is Tony Stark? I thought he was from Hollywood. I'm confused.
From Hollywood, Hartford, Connecticut. Please welcome our special guest today, Miss Rachel Lynch.
Woo! Okay, now I can breathe. And
hey,
let's fix the hair here. Okay. Hi, everyone.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much for having me. Very excited to be here.
Cool. So you're the very first. And so Jordan and I would like to welcome you.
So we can set the bar really low.
Oh, no.
We're thinking pretty high.
Yeah. Pretty high. So we just want to have a chat and get to know you a little bit better and have our listeners get to know you a little bit better. So we're just going to jump right in. Okay?
Absolutely.
All right. So here's the biggest question that we had. How did you get into the DJ business?
This is a very interesting story, and I will try to keep this as short as possible. So my sibling, my brother, has been a DJ for many, many, many years. And I honestly had no ambitions, no plan on ever being a DJ. It just kind of happened accidentally. So long story short, one morning we woke up to a loud crash inside of my brother's bedroom. Obviously, we responded to see what the heck it was, and we found him laying on the floor unconscious.
Oh my God. Wow.
So we obviously had to call 911. Ambulance came, picked him up. And I knew he had a wedding that day because he was prepping for it all week. And, we're talking about it over dinner the night before. So I kind of knew the schedule. So I now knew that day that they didn't have a DJ. Now, remember, I wasn't a DJ. So other than kind of tagging along with him and, maybe diddling with some things here and there, stealing his CD collection to jam out in my room. But in terms of actually any like formal training or knowing what the heck I was doing, let alone a wedding, forget about it. So I went to my dad and I was like, hey, Dad, we got to do something here. So my dad helped me lift all of his stuff into his pickup truck. Now we're talking back before powered speakers. I remember he had a Bose, I think it's called like an L1. I don't know. I could be wrong because it was many, many years ago where things needed these, 105 amps. And I physically couldn't lift any of it. So Pops helped me, packed it in the truck, drove to the people's house. And then when I show up, they're like, and you are? And I'm like, well, I am the sister of DJ Brian, but we had a medical emergency. He couldn't make it. The bride and groom were absolutely, there's not a word to tell you how upset they were. So now I had to pretend to be the DJ that I wasn't because I couldn't tell them like, hey, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. So I just kind of put a little swag in the step. I said, hey, we got you. I'm going to do the best I can for you. Just, tell me what I need to know. I struggled through it. It was not the best event I've ever had, obviously, but guess what? At least they had something. I mean, what could be worse than having nothing? Turning on like your radio? I mean, at the time, I don't even know. Forget that there was no streaming. There was no, Pandora and Spotify. Like that didn't exist then. So they would have had to deal with their CD collection, I guess. So I said, if I can survive this, I can literally do anything. And it turns out that I had more natural talent than I had thought. And I learned a lot more through kind of growing up with music, being around him, that I pulled off my first accidental wedding at like 16 years old.
Wow. That's incredible.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
So, and obviously years have gone on, you've perfected your craft. Any obstacles that you had to overcome being like a female DJ? I know predominantly, DJs most people associate that are guys, but obviously, as time goes on, there's a lot of girls who do it, which is amazing. So, but anything in particular that you had to really fight for to sort of put your place in the history books, more or less?
Yeah. So the first thing that I had to kind of battle against was when I wanted to be my own brand and not be affiliated with my brother's company and kind of what he was doing, because he would give me some overflow events. If he double booked, he would give them to me, but I was still associated with his company. And then finally, when I wanted to become my own entity, I kind of had to struggle with the rebrand, and that's when I had to get the new logo and a new EPK, electronic press kit, and I started hitting social media really hard so that people could know like me, not Brian's little sister who happens to kind of want to be a DJ, right? So that was struggle number one. And then once I started to take off and get some more momentum and really build the brand and start getting a real great clientele base and things like that, in terms of the female DJ component, just like anything else, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. Yes, there's some advantages and there's some disadvantages. I really try not to focus on it too much. I want to be known as a DJ. But I have definitely received a lot of disrespectful messages. People saying, do you even know how to set up your own gear? You're trying to be the next Paris Hilton. If asking me for dates, thinking that I only get jobs because I'm, being promiscuous with certain staff, or how all that goes, the rumor mill and all of that. So that's very challenging. But all I do is use that to motivate me to put out solid content. And that's where a lot of my social media presences come from, where I do a lot of the video tutorials and things on gear reviews, because I want to show people that, I'm more than just a female DJ. I want to be a reputable source of knowledge and information and really help the community. So that's kind of my focus now.
That's amazing. And you can tell, all of the videos that you post, first, they're really awesome. I personally enjoy watching them, but it gives you a really good comfort level. And two things right off the hop, just from watching you talk and listening to you, definitely Jordan and I are very passionate about this, but being one of the better DJs out there, the better personalities, is really that, having a personality, having passion, being playful. You're all those things right off the hop. Just from watching you tell that story. I think it was the first time I saw you post a live feed from your event where you were singing along and grooving and being playful and having fun. And I think that really is what makes a big difference. It allows people to see that, oh, she's fun and approachable, and they come up to you. And, that's just it. I think we've all had those challenges. I know, being a female DJ, well, not personally, but I've worked with quite a few over the years, and it can be challenging, but you seem to have been dealing with it and rising above it. And that's pretty amazing.
That's all you have to do, is just kind of fight the stereotype. I wanted to show them something different. I remember a quick story where I was a little upset, where I got a phone call from this promoter of a venue and say, hey, we heard about you. We'd love to get you down here for some of our weekend events. We think you'd be great. Would you like to meet up for some lunch and talk about it? So here I'm thinking it's this like great business meeting, and maybe it's a new venue that opened up. So of course I jumped on it, and I show up. And it was for a gentleman's nightclub. And I felt like it was like a hook, line, and sinker, that they didn't even give me that information up front. And of course, they assumed that I would wear this and do this and say that and kind of be part of that whole environment. And I was really annoyed that they kind of wasted my time. And not that there's any problem with working in that space, but in terms of my business vision and the brand and kind of where I want to associate with what I'm doing, it wasn't a good fit for me. And I wasn't even given the opportunity to even communicate that. They just kind of, let's rope it in and, see what we...
How long have you been DJing? Like how long have you been doing this?
So in total, about 13 years, but in terms of really running a profitable business, about 8.
Okay. So you're a little bit younger than Jordan and I. But it's interesting that you talk about that, the gentleman's club. When I first started in the business, hilariously enough, my first gig was I had to introduce dancers in a strip club, and I lasted 2 days. I won't go into the details, but the times have changed, and back then, if you wanted to start in the business, you had to do every kind of odd and end job that came your way to get experience, to get exposure, get noticed. I don't know, Jordan, if you've had the same type of thing or feel the same way, but nowadays, I don't think you have to do that. If you have a vision and how you want your business to go and your clientele and market that you want, there should be no reason that you have to do stuff that you don't want to do just to get a name for yourself.
I'm going to say probably 70% of my business is unconventional things. Like I'm not a wedding DJ. I'm not a club DJ. I do food truck festivals. I've opened up for some pretty cool artists. I did a promo thing at MetLife Stadium for a football game. God, what other, road races, 5Ks, paint parties. I mean, I do gyms every once in a while. I mean, everybody loves music. So there's so many opportunities to share that service without getting stuffed in that traditional box. So that's kind of my realm. I love being super open format and just diving into any environment I could get in. So
yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Jordan and I are exactly the same way. We don't have a certain identified market that we cater to. We do everything. And I think being able to be that diverse than just specifically being a wedding DJ or a club DJ, I think it opens the door to do so much more.
Mm-hmm. I did have a little challenge when I told you I was trying to branch away from my brother's company and kind of build my own. That made branding a little difficult because, of course, everyone asks you, so what do you do? Are you a wedding DJ, your club DJ? Your logo is a little too clubby, or it's not going to speak to brides. And I had a really hard time finding the perfect brand because of how diverse I am. I still don't know if I've nailed it or not. I'm happy with where it is, but that was really difficult for me.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
For the newer the DJs, the green DJs, what kind of recommendations from your experience would you say, advice you'd like to give them to continue to do this as a profession and as a business, just based on your own experiences?
So I have 3 really big ones. So the first is practicing never stops. And I don't care if you've been doing this 50 years or if you're just trying to get in the game, there is hours of practice that need to go in, both with just listening to music, figuring out the structure of it, getting familiar with key signatures so you can get better mixes and blends, then just the tech side of it, getting familiar with your equipment, knowing how to troubleshoot it, how to update things, getting smart with just general technology. That doesn't go away. Again, like someone I've been in this, between 13 and 15 years, I kind of lost count. Now I'm kind of getting into, DMXing and stuff, and there's always stuff to learn. So never lose that drive, because if you do, you're going to get stagnant and disappear. So you always have to be willing to learn and to work. The next one is networking is huge. I would not be where I'm at if I did not know certain individuals, and I give, as much as I take. You have to also be willing to contribute to the community, but it's really about getting out there and networking with people and being kind and have a face in the community, and being told no, and that's okay. But you don't have opportunity if you don't try. But if you think you're going to build this empire just off of posting a photograph on Instagram, it doesn't really work like that, at least not with the entertainment business. You got to have more substance than that. And to not get sucked in the keeping up with the Joneses with gear, get good stuff as like the highest you can afford, and work with what you got until you've outgrown it. But everything that comes out every 6 months, it's a never-ending perpetual cycle of debt, and it's not necessary. I've seen people do amazing things with the DJ to go controller like this, or Rain 12s, or whatever it is. So just find something that works, but don't feel that you always have to have like the best and the new, because you'll always be owing money. It's not necessary. So yeah.
Don't say that, Jordan.
No, just going to say those are really good points.
They're really good points. Yeah.
When you're starting a business, you need to prioritize and figure out what you're going to focus your money on, and knowing that whatever you take, work with that and work till you can't work with it anymore, and then progress from there.
Yeah.
So the word on the street is that you are going to Las Vegas next month in March, and we definitely are looking forward to meeting you in person, obviously. But what are you looking forward to the most, other than the million options of pizza, which we can have a full-on discussion on the secret pizza store at the Cosmo, but that's for another time, which you definitely have to hit. But in general, obviously, there's a lot of events going on. What are you getting most excited about?
So last summer was my first time going to the DJ Expo. First time I ever experienced anything like that. And this is my first time of ever going to Mobile Beat. Now, I heard it's kind of similar in the sense where you have speakers and some equipment stuff to look at, but the vibe is real different. And I guess I'm looking forward to that kind of Vegas flair, with the show. And obviously it's all about the people. I don't need to go there and go look at more equipment that I could go to my local, Guitar Center and go look at. It's all about the connections, the friendly faces, and everyone that I've connected with on Facebook, to actually get to meet them in person. It's just, I'm so unbelievably excited. And then hopefully a bunch of people just want to buy me pizza and say, hey, let's go out to eat. And then I get free pizza and, all that. But no, seriously, it's about the people. I cannot wait to go and experience that. And I hate
That's awesome.
flying. I hate flying. So I'm just like, I'm just going to deal with it.
It's going to be fun. Just think of the pizza.
Oh gosh.
Vegas is fun. Those shows are really great shows. And we're looking forward to hanging out with you.
Now, question for you guys, if I can interview the interviewer.
Sure.
So obviously you've been to Mobile Beat before. If you had to give a first-timer one piece of advice, what would you give?
You can go first, Jordan.
No problem. I think that, have a plan going forward. If there's certain seminars or certain people that you really want to connect with and you want to learn about, make sure that you include that in your trip, because there is so much going on, and there are so many different discussions and networking opportunities that sometimes you just get in the midst of it and you miss what you really want to go see. So I'd say probably pick 4 or 5, like for sure, seminars that you definitely want to be there. And then on the flip side of that, take in as much as you can, because there are such a diverse amount of people that go there, between the parties and stuff. Just have an open mind. I think I've probably been going to 5 or 6, maybe 7 so far in my career, and they all have offered something different. And I just think that whatever you put in, you get out as well. So just go with an open mind, and don't forget, we'll buy pizza. Well, the pizza's on us for round whatever, But.
Well, I couldn't have said it any better. The only thing that I'll add is I would just, take in everything and go away and digest it. Don't make any decisions on the fly or jump into too many different things without, going home, having a chance to digest it all, talk to people, and make sure that the direction you want to go with your company and your brand fits with what you experienced. And I think that'll go a long way.
I can tell you one lesson learned from the expo was bring hand sanitizer. I ended up with the worst cold. I lost my voice for 2 weeks and had a horrible case of bronchitis. It was awful. So I'm just going to have like a pump action, like safety, like superhero safety belt of just hand sanitizer.
You need a Batman utility belt.
I do. Just fill this hand sanitizer.
Are you sure that just wasn't Atlantic City and like close to the ocean
Yeah,
of New Jersey?
I don't know. I shook a lot of hands.
So tell us about the Russian Lady.
So the Russian Lady is this great nightlife venue down in Hartford, Connecticut, downtown in the city. And it has this incredible Victorian architecture, but obviously they've put some modern upgrades to it to turn it into a 3-level nightclub, including a rooftop lounge. It is awesome. It has some of the best bartenders around, and then of course they have, the premier DJ entertainment holding it down Friday, Saturday, and they even sometimes do some Sunday kind of hangover brunch thing. Those are kind of fun. It's a really awesome venue, and I think what is the best part about it is since there's 3 floors, they have 3 different DJs, and each DJ has kind of like their own format, so to speak, so everybody gets a little something. I'm down on the first floor where it's super open format, sing-along, bar songs, 90s, Britney Spears, NSYNC. I can play Cardi B if I want. Like, I can pretty much do whatever I want.
Nice.
Then above me is a throwback room, so it's all kind of your 90s, 2000s hip-hop and stuff like that. And then the club room is all your top 40 remixes, trap edits, EDM, and all the stuff you'd expect to hear on the radio. So it's a really awesome. Yeah,
Awesome.
That's incredible. Yeah.
it's cool.
Very
Okay, Jordan, we have a new feature that we're going to kick off in just a few moments. What's it called, Jay-Z?
The 60-second blitz. So we're going to ask Rachel a whole list of questions. We're going to see how many we can do in 60 seconds. The idea here is for you to give us the first thing that pops in your mind based on the question we ask.
Okay, we're going to put 60 seconds on the screen. And Jordan, you're going to ask the first question. The clock will start as soon as Jordan asks. Here we go.
The first question is Denon or Pioneer?
Denon.
Serato or virtual DJ?
Virtual DJ.
Vinyl or digital?
I'm gonna have to go with vinyl.
Pizza or pizza?
I'm gonna go with pizza.
Now, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yeah, hot dog's a sandwich.
How do you feel about pineapple on your pizza?
All day, every day, best topping with bacon.
Toilet paper, are you an over or under type of girl?
Over, definitely over.
What was your biggest screw up in the kitchen?
Cooking minute rice that literally took about 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Comedy, drama, or thrillers?
Thrillers.
Yeah. How about your favorite mentor in the DJ business, in your experience?
Not stroking egos, but I have to put Barry on that list. I find him so motivating, so kind, and so creative. He's just such a wonderful person to have in my network. So
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you are the best.
Hey, what is the most creative way someone has requested a song?
A paper airplane. I had someone throw a paper airplane at me from across the bar, and it did not land near me, but then they had one of their friends pick it up, and then I had to unfold this paper airplane, and that was what they did.
And we have time for one more question.
Okay.
And that question is, would you rather give up bathing for a month or the internet?
I'm gonna go with bathing, because I gotta get my downloads, right? My from my record pools. I gotta get my music, and I could always rub like deodorant on my face and do what I have to do to like unfunkify. So I'm gonna give up bathing.
Nice. And that wraps up our 60-second blitz, which was again 2 minutes and 24 seconds.
Well, the best part is they always
That's
say
okay.
you can always work on things as you progress. So we'll work on getting that down to 60 seconds in future episodes. But we'd like to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk to us and get to know you a little better, and our viewers to know you a little better. And for those who are going to Las Vegas, when they do see you, they can come up to you and have that already, you know, information that they know about you. And it seems that they just need to bring you a slice of pizza.
Slice of pizza.
You'll be their best friend. So.
If somebody isn't already following you or they'd like to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that, Rach?
So on Instagram, you could find me at The Real DJ Rachel. On Facebook, I believe it's just my name, right? I don't know. I never really look at my...
It's your name. It's your name.
Just my name. And I am also on Mixcloud. Same thing. You can look me up just by my name. So if you want to catch some cool, fresh mixes, I'm posting those all the time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and I have a YouTube channel. And I believe the same thing. It's just my name.
That's awesome. Well, you can learn more from Rachel, become friends with her, and you'll get to meet her in Las Vegas in just a few weeks from now. Next time on the show, we're pleased to feature the one and only Peter Mary. He will be sitting in the hot seat, and we'll ask him that 60-second blitz as well and talk to him about the great things about the industry. Rachel, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye.